He said, give me 30 seconds. He's putting his last shoe on. Of all 12 he has to put on.
I was going to say his last shoe of like how many?
Welcome to the Incoherent Fangirl.
Where this week we are mostly back to normal.
Mostly. I'm Mandy of Virgin River.
And I'm Karin of Earth 65. And
Hello.
here we are. We're mostly back.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to try and have a regular episode this week. We're going to try.
What timeline are we on?
Oh, yes. So in our timeline, it is July 28th. And in y'all's timeline, it is August 5th. So
it's August.
August. Holy cow. Where did the time go?
I feel like it should be like Christmas. I don't know that I feel like it should be Christmas because I feel like January was the longest month I've ever lived through. But then since January ended, it's like been 5 minutes.
I feel like it's still like March. Like, how are we almost in August? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I'm very confused.
It freaks me out.
I don't understand time. I don't
don't either.
And now you add in the multiverse. Pff, I quit.
Yeah. No, I can't. I can't keep up with all of it. I want to take a nap when I think about it.
I feel ya. All right, let's get into it. So we start with This Week in Fangirling.
I did a lot this week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, actually, I just finished, and I can't tell you about it because I'm not supposed to tell about what they are, but I can tell you what I just read was Amber D. Lewis's July Patreon short story.
Oh, fun.
I literally just finished reading. Yeah, so every month for her Patreon, she does like a short story or an alternate POV, and I just finished reading that one. And if you want to know, what it was, then you're gonna have to subscribe to her Patreon to find out.
Yeah, we love Amber D. Lewis.
Just a little,
just a tiny bit.
Also, I've been dying to tell you this since we didn't really have an episode last week where we talked about things. I didn't get to tell you this then. As I mentioned in our last episode, we've been stuck at home because we had COVID in the house. So one of the days I was still able to work, but had to be like away from my husband. And one of the days after I got off work, I bought and watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was so good.
So
freaking
good.
Weird, but so good.
It's weird as fuck, and it's one of the best movies of the year.
When he just turns to her out of nowhere and is like quoting Absolutely Story of a Girl, where he's like, your clothes never wear as well the next day. Mm-hmm. And your hair never falls in quite the same way. And I was like, what? Yeah, it is so good.
By far one of the weirdest movies ever.
Yes.
But yet everything makes sense.
Yeah.
In the context of the movie.
Fingers? Oh my God. The fingers.
The hot dog fingers. Oh my God, I can't.
I text him up because he had to isolate upstairs. So I'm texting him like, as soon as I finish this movie, you have to watch it. You gotta like.
It's so good. It is so, so good. So actually, that reminds me of, so Jay Stubbs just posted like a TikTok recently. I just saw it today. I think she posted it yesterday, where she was talking about Everything Everywhere All at Once. And it's directed by the Daniels. I forget their names. Daniel something and Daniel something. But they have another movie that they've done called Swiss Army Men, which features, I think it's Paul Dano and Daniel Radcliffe.
Okay. I know what you're talking about.
Daniel Radcliffe plays a corpse who has a magical superpower of
literally
farting.
Becomes
And apparently it completely makes sense and is a very moving movie. So I'm like, do they just make really weird movies that are just...
I'm not brave enough to watch that one.
I'll watch it and I'll let you know how it is.
Tell me.
Because I'm fascinated. And if it's anything like Everything Everywhere All at Once, I'm in. Like that
Did
movie
you
was so...
did you ever watch A Ghost Story?
I don't think so. It doesn't sound
It
familiar.
was it's not like super 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 weird, but it's weird. It's about this guy who I think he dies in a car accident,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not ready to leave his wife, so he becomes a ghost. But he's literally just like got a sheet. Like he's like a cartoon ghost with a sheet. And it's like the whole movie he's just following her around in a sheet, and the whole movie is like a perfect square.
Uh huh.
Like there's like, you know how you have widescreen where you have the
Mm-hmm.
black stripes on it? No, it's a perfect square, and it's just him walking around in this sheet. It's weird. It's weird, but really good.
I love it. I love weird movies.
Yeah.
It's fun. Oh,
To
I'm
give you
so glad
something to
you
talk
watched
about.
it. It's so good.
I know. I wanted to text you when I was watching it and like, but I was like, no, I'm going to tell her
It's
in the
so
podcast.
good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes, if you have not watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, please go
Go
watch
do
it.
it
It is
now.
so, so good. So, so good.
So good.
Uh,
Um, yeah, I cried a lot. And then I got an arc last week from NetGalley called The Do-Over, and I think her name is Sharon Peterson. I should have gotten her name because I want everybody to read this.
is it good? Tell me about it.
It is Sharon Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about it comes out Monday, actually.
Oh.
Um, yeah, it's about a girl who she's the older of two sisters, and she
Mm-hmm.
is kind of thick, and she's got kind of dark hair, and her sister comes out blonde and trim and beautiful, and she's going to be a news anchor, and everybody just falls over her, and their mother kind of puts a lot of pressure on the older sister. You've got to lose weight, you got to do this, you got to do that. So she ends up just kind of freaking, and none of this is a spoiler. This
Mm-hmm.
is what the back of the book would tell
Yeah.
you. She and her best friend end up coming up with a list of New Year's resolutions, but they're kind of anti-resolutions. I will not try to be the perfect daughter. I will not try to lose weight. I will not try to find a relationship. And then enter the hot guy who moves in next door. So it's like a cute little rom-com. It got a little predictable at times, but then other times it was like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it was a very cute read, very quick read.
Okay.
Um, Again, since my husband was sick and I couldn't be around him because he was sick, I took the opportunity to paint my living room. It's something I've been wanting to do.
Yes, it looks
And
so good.
thank you. Yeah, you can see it. I've got this is kind of where my money went, but it's really not that important. But I have like 8 more frames that I bought today for this wall that Karin can see behind me.
Yay.
I'm doing like a dark academia Renaissance gallery wall.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, but I had to paint this whole room. So I took off early. I was like, work was kind of dead, and I told my boss like I'm just gonna have a mental health day. Um, and I put on that same day, that morning, right as I decided I was just going to be done working for the day, Libby or Hoopla one said, "Hey, your hold for the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is ready." I put on that audiobook and I painted and I finished that audiobook in a day. It is, have you read it?
I haven't yet. It's on my list.
Oh, it is so good. So, it's by Taylor Jenkins Reid, who I'm finding out quickly I freaking love. She
Mm-hmm.
also wrote Daisy Jones and the Six, which I read earlier this year, which was really good. This one is kind of loosely based on like Elizabeth Taylor with all
Mm-hmm.
of her husbands, and I can't remember who else she said she kind of based her on. But it's about a famous like Hollywood actress in the 50s, um, who everybody wants to love her and be around her because she's beautiful, and nobody really wants to stay.
Mm-hmm.
They just want that like 5 minutes of I've got your attention and you're all mine. And
Right.
um, it is LGBTQIA without giving away too much of the plot.
Yeah.
Husbands aren't exactly what the only thing that
You're right.
Evelyn is interested in. And so part of it is her journey as being a bisexual woman in the 50s, where you're not, where being gay is not allowed.
Right.
And when she ends up with a woman, that woman is only interested in women and keeps trying to put her in the same box. And she's like, no, but I also
Yeah.
like men. I also am fulfilled by men. I also have loved men. So it's really, really good. Kind of surprising twist at the end. And the book is actually kind of it's the main book is being I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. There is a girl who is hired to meet with Evelyn Hugo as a 90 something year old woman.
Okay.
And I'm gonna, I want you to tell my story. I'm gonna let
Okay.
you be the
Okay.
one to tell my story. And so a lot of it is transcription of their talks. But it
I
was not
see.
what I expected at all, but so good. It made me want to like go back and watch, like just put on Turner Classic Movies and watch
Yeah.
every old glamorous Hollywood movie. Um, then I've got so much. I'm getting close to done though. I finished last night The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina. I
Mm-hmm.
saw one TikTok about this. I ordered it immediately. It came in. If you like Encanto, but you want it for adults, and instead of Colombian, you want it to be Ecuadorian, Magic House, Abuela, who's kind of mysterious and kind of frustrating for her kids and grandkids. Insanely good. Very, 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 very good. I watched all of the new season of Virgin River. I am unwell. The cliffhanger that they threw out. First of all, this that was the fourth season, and it's been about 9 months of time in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Not even 9 months of time in the show. It is taking forever to get anywhere, and it is driving me insane. Okay. There's a girl who has been pregnant from the start who is like 5 months pregnant. Guys, I need you to hurry it up. And then last but not least, I started The Villa last night, which is an arc from Rachel Hawkins.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought that I would get this arc, but I'm glad I did. I think it comes out in January, I believe. But so far, just like the back of the cover, not giving you any spoilers because I'm not far enough into it. Two author best friends rent a villa in Italy, and they're going to stay there for like 6 weeks and write and hang out. They don't get to spend as much time together anymore. And one of them points out that this is a murder house. An entire band of musicians and like their families or the people that were there with them were murdered in this house. So it's giving me like Helter Skelter vibes and like the Manson murders so far, but I'm only a couple of chapters in, and it's dual timeline. So it seems like from where I am, it's going to be the authors in present day and then some of the people who were there when the murders happened.
Ooh.
Yeah. It seems like it's going to be pretty intense. Like right now it's lighthearted and cute, but I'm like, this ain't going to stay this way.
Yeah. It's funny because you said
And
like two author best friends, and I'm just like, okay, so when are we planning our trip?
right? 6 weeks in Italy?
6 weeks in Italy?
Yes,
Not in a murder house, but we could
please.
totally do that.
I'll stay in a murder house. I don't care. As long as it's not haunted. Also, look at my shirt.
It's very cute. I've
It's
been
got,
staring
for
at
the
it.
listeners, it's got a little bookshelf and then a little ghost on it that says books.
It's so
So I
cute.
guess I didn't, this was on top, but apparently I planned for it. I don't want it to be a haunted house, but I'll stay in a murder house. On that tangent, what did you do this week?
I I think I mentioned it to you right before we started recording, but I'm in like the middle of like 5 different books.
Yeah,
I'm insane. And
yeah, that
I don't
stresses
know
me.
I don't know how it happened. It just happened. But I this week finished an arc by Jessica George. It's called Mame. And it's about this 25-year-old girl who She is the youngest of two siblings, so she has an older brother. But kind of like all of the responsibilities in like her life and her family has kind of just fallen to her. Her brother's kind of like does his own thing. Her mom goes and lives in Ghana for like a year at a time. So she's like in Ghana for a year, then she comes back for a year, and then she goes back to Ghana. So her like grandfather left her mom like a hostel that she takes care of or whatnot.
Oh, okay, so she's
Um,
not just like jetting off to vacation.
no, not exactly. However, it is kind of like she
Could
just
be a parent here.
you could be a parent. And
Yeah.
so, like, and it's not just like her mom has only started doing this recently. Like when she was still in school, her mom was doing this. So it was like
Yeah.
she
That's
wasn't really
fine.
parenting, and her dad just kind of let her do her own thing. So she kind of parented herself, and so now in the present day at 25, her dad has Parkinson's, so she's still in the house. She's taking care of him. Her mom's in Ghana. Her brother is just wherever. And so she's just kind of like stuck in this rut. And then her mom finishes her Ghana trip. She comes back and she's like, "Why don't you move out?" So she's like, "Okay, well, this is my opportunity to like move out and actually live my life, at least for a year,
Yeah.
depending, assuming that her
Yeah.
mom is gonna go back." And
Yeah.
so it's kind of like a
Okay, she's
coming.
taking care of dad. I was like, well, just she's gonna kick her out. That's kind of rude.
No,
But
no,
yeah, she's
no.
taking care of dad. She has to be home. I get it. Okay.
Right.
Sorry, it
So,
took me a second to get it.
so the main character is Maddie. And so she's been taking care of dad. Now mom's coming home, so mom's going to take care of dad. Maddie's moving out. So Maddie, at the age of 25, is now starting to actually like live a life. So she's doing all of that stuff that like you kind of do like in your late teens, like after you turn 18, you finish, you're in college,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So she's just starting to like
Care
date
about her own
and
self. Yeah.
figure out
Take
her
care of
own,
her
like
needs.
take care of her own needs and kind of thing. So it's kind of like a coming of age story for somebody who is a little bit older, and she's going through all these firsts and learning like men kind of suck in
Yeah.
terms of dating or whatnot. And it within all of that, there's also this like familial loyalty that she's got to like process, as well as kind of processing like how her, because of the way that her mom was raised in the culture, like she's kind of processing, this was how I was raised and how to manage all of that.
Yeah.
So it's like it's really good. Like I it started off a little bit slow for me, and I got a couple chapters in and then I could not put it down. Like I was up until like 2 a.m. reading one
I
time,
love that
and
though.
it's really really good. I feel like it's a story that we really need right now to kind of remind us that everybody starts in like a naive place. Like you don't know, you haven't lived life, so
Right.
you
Even
get
and
taken.
people don't think about that can sometimes be adults.
Right,
Like it's not
exactly.
just a 17-year-old and
Hmm.
18-year-old. Like you can have a
Yeah.
30-year-old who,
Exactly.
if you don't
Like
have those
reading this, it
experiences,
was very much like reliving like my like late teens, early 20s, like when I was 19
yeah,
and I was just starting to like make decisions about my own life and all of that. So
yeah,
it's really really good. I really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people enjoy it. I also liked that they sprinkled in kind of like her culture to it. Like it's not like in your face bam Ghanaian things, but it's also like
yeah.
there are little bits and pieces where you kind of are like, oh okay, that's cool, I didn't know that kind of thing. So I really enjoyed it. It comes out February 7th. And I highly recommend it. And
Yeah. I
it's
feel like
called,
I've heard about it.
yeah, I saw the cover somewhere before, and then I had the opportunity to like get it through NetGalley, and I was like, well, I'm gonna read it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I posted like a whole big thing on our blog, so you can read that if you want all
Yeah.
more details. I feel like I talked a lot about it anyways, but if you want more, it's there. So I finished reading that. I started reading She Who Rides the Storm by Caitlin Sangster. I checked this out because Caitlin Sangster does like these really beautiful sprayed and stenciled edges, and she is the one who I got a copy of An Arrow to the Moon from, with like these gorgeous sprayed edges. And so I was like, I feel like if I'm gonna be buying these things from her, I should maybe also read her books.
Yeah.
So I started this. It's really
Is
good.
this the one you have a challenge on?
I don't
Your
think so.
kid challenged you? Your kid challenged you to finish
Yes,
it before
you're
you.
right. Yes. So I pulled this out on, I think, like, was it Monday or Tuesday? And I had told my daughter, like, we're going to the library on Saturday to return our books. And she looked at the book, and it's a thick book.
It's a thick. Is she
It's
thick?
thick. She thick. She is. Hold on. Let's see how many pages she is.
She's not a small book.
She is almost 600 pages.
Yeah,
And so I pulled it out on Monday, and I had not started reading it. And my daughter was like, "How are we going to go to the library if you can't finish that whole book?" I'm like, "You watch me."
Bet, child.
Challenge
Bet.
accepted. 600 pages in 5 days? Pfft, I got this. Uh, so I'm reading that. I really enjoy it. So it's kind of got it's third person but multi POV as well. So it's like
Okay.
you're following like four characters, but in the third person. So they're not telling you their story, but you're still seeing
Okay.
it.
You're so
Yeah,
with
you're
them.
following them. Yeah. And so it's all centered around this like this sword that they're like all trying to like find or dig up and get, because like a long time ago there were like shapeshifters and they like used magic that fed off of people's souls, and so they all got like, destroyed or whatnot, and
Yeah.
this is like the last shapeshifter's resting place, and they found his sword, and so they all want that power for different reasons. Like one of our main characters is trying to find her brother's murderer. Another of the main characters is trying to figure out like, is his sister's soul trapped in this like object that he has. So it's like, it's very interesting. It's a lot of world building, but in like not a slow way. Like you kind of get
Yeah.
into it. Like I feel like I can feel her building the world, but I don't feel bored. Like it doesn't feel
Yeah.
like exposition, if that makes
Like
sense.
you haven't done this yet, but the first half of the first Crescent City book is
Mm-hmm.
torture because it's all world building and it's so much,
Yeah.
and it's like you don't get anything else.
Right. Yeah. So it's not like I don't feel like she's just like telling me how this world works. She's
You're
like, it's
feeling the
like,
time pass.
yeah. It's like
With them.
you're learning how the world works as they continue their journey. Like
Right.
it's not
Right.
it's not being told to you. So it's really nice. I really like it. I don't know how far I am into it right now because I could not hold the book up with one hand, so I switched to Kindle. I was like, because it's so thick, so I couldn't hold it up with one hand. So I
Yeah.
switched to my Kindle, and Kindle is not telling me how far I am into it right now. But I where did I put my Kindle? Oh, it's over there. But it's really good. I really enjoy it. So I will have more to say about it next week when I am
Yep.
done with it,
Yes,
because
because you'll
I
have to
will
be
be
done with it.
I will be finished by Saturday.
You
Today's Thursday.
you will deserve a personal pan pizza once you finish that. Like you're doing Book It.
Yes. I read a couple more comics. The most recent one was the Spider Women trade paperback, which had a couple stories following Jessica Drew, Gwen Stacy, and Cindy Moon. And hence why I'm from Earth 65, because the Gwen Stacy in the comics is from Earth 65, whereas our main timeline is Earth 616. And they have figured out how to travel interdimensionally, so it's very cool. And so they like get together and have brunch. And just like it's very cute. So I read that, and I just saw you post about it on Facebook. So I thought it was really funny, but I watched Persuasion, the new one.
Oh no. Was it
I
awful? I've
really
heard such terrible things.
I loved it. But I've
Really?
also
Okay.
so here's the thing. It feels more, it's so like Jane Austen obviously is like classics. And for me, I have a really hard time reading the classics.
Yeah, they can be hard to
Not that
get
I
through.
don't enjoy them. It just takes me a long time to get through, which
Mm.
is why I listen to them on audiobook at 2 times speed.
Yeah, yeah,
But so I don't really remember the story that Jane Austen wrote so much
yeah.
as I watched like a different film version of it. But I really enjoyed it. I felt like it was more of a, even though it's still kind of set in that era, it felt more modern. Like they were trying to make it.
Bridgerton.
I've heard people say I haven't watched Bridgerton, so I wouldn't know.
But see, Bridgerton doesn't seem super modernized to me, other than them using they
Mm-hmm.
do like instrumental string quartet versions
Mm-hmm.
of like popular songs now. Like
Yeah.
they've got Harry Styles and Taylor Swift.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
I don't know, just calling them the thing I posted was like there's this long drawn out quote from
Mm-hmm.
Jane Austen that's very emotional, talking about them, no longer being together, and they've all they say is we're just exes, and it's like
Yeah,
you
it's
took away the poetry.
well, I feel like they were making it more comedic than the original text, which I
Yeah.
can understand how people can take offense to that. Um,
Yeah.
I personally, because I am not as big a fan of like the classics and that kind of style, I really enjoyed it. I also
I
really,
might can give it a try.
I also just really love Henry Golding. So the second that I saw he was in it, I was like, I'm
Fair.
100% in, 100% in.
Is he
Um,
in Downton Abbey?
Not that I know
Let
of,
me
but he might have
let me
been.
let me Jeopardy music. Hold on. Henry
Okay,
Golding.
Henry Golding. I think it's Goul. Blah blah blah.
Gould.
Ging. He was Nick in Crazy Rich Asians.
No, I'm thinking of, hold on. What's her name?
What's her name? What does that have to do with Henry Golding?
The second the Henry Talbot is Mary's second husband, and he is played by, can I
I
get your name? I hate these wiki pages where they tell you everything except the author's name.
oh my goodness.
Henry
Um,
Talbot is played by, I don't know why I thought his name was, maybe I'm thinking because his name on the show is Henry, but his name is
maybe,
Matthew Good. So I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know where I got that from. They look
I don't
nothing
know.
alike. They're nothing alike. They're not the same people. Oh, sorry, that was a whole aside that didn't need to be there.
That's okay. But I really liked it. I know that like people who are fans of Jane Austen and Persuasion are probably not as big a fan of the movie. I really enjoyed it. I love Dakota Johnson. I love Henry Golding, so I was a big fan of it. And
Yeah.
I love comedic like takes on things like this. So
Yeah.
that made me happy. Okay.
I'll give Persuasion a try,
Yeah,
I guess, at some
I
point.
liked it. I liked
I'm
it.
gonna judge it.
I don't think if you go into it not thinking that it is going to be like a perfect recreation of the book, then
Yeah.
you'll be fine.
There's a girl I follow on TikTok who, like, in college, like, her concentration was classic literature.
Hmm.
So she did like a whole video where she was like recording her reactions, and she was like, it's getting worse. The dumpster fire is getting bigger. Oh my God. And so like when someone you like, knows a metro like way more,
Yeah.
she knows way more than I do, is sitting like, she scared me with it. She was like,
Well, I was sitting on the phone because it was movie night with Beth. So I was sitting on the phone with Beth, who is like the biggest Jane Austen fan that I know,
yeah,
and Persuasion's her favorite. And so I'm
yeah,
sitting on the phone, and she's like, she would never. And I was just like sitting there enjoying myself as she's like complaining in my ear, and I'm like,
yeah.
it's fine, it's
See, when
fine.
she commented on my Facebook post, and I didn't know if she was like mad at the meme maker or mad at the movie maker. So you just clarified it for me.
Yes, she enjoyed the movie as a separate
Yeah,
entity.
once you
If
think,
you
okay, I have
separate
to
it,
take it away.
yeah. If you separate, just like how, like, when, remember I was talking about like the Da Vinci Code. I loved the books. If I take the movie and think about it as a
Yeah.
separate thing, then it's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking about the book as you're watching the movie, it'll drive you insane.
Yeah.
So,
Fair. I used to feel that way about Aragon,
mm-hmm.
and I do feel that way about the Aragon movie, but Disney's got to
speaking of
fix it. Disney's
speaking
got
of
to fix it.
Aragon, I was gonna
Anyway,
tag you, but I was just like,
uh,
I'll let her find
my
it herself.
God. Couldn't happen to a nicer author. He's such a nice guy. I love him so much. He reminds me so much of my little brother. And uh, I'm so excited for Aragon.
It'll be fun. I
Yeah.
might actually start reading the books.
Okay. They are books that you have to do the audio. I could never have gotten
Okay.
through Aragon. The names.
Oh.
Funeral. What?
What?
So
Yeah.
there's a
Okay.
lot of weird names, but if you
Okay.
listen to the audio, you'll breeze right through them. They're so good.
Got it. Okay. And then I watched How the West Was Fun. It is a Mary Kate and Ashley movie, and I watched it because of one reason. One reason is that Elizabeth Olsen
Karin,
has a cameo in it. What?
my childhood. You just unlocked a memory. My grandma had she had a bunch of Mary Kate and Ashley movies for us when we were
Mm-hmm.
little, and that was one of them. Oh my
I
God.
know
Okay.
we've talked about this because I was like,
Yeah.
I need to rent this, but I don't really want to. And then you're like, I think my grandma has it on like VHS, and
Yeah.
I was like, it would cost me more to have you ship it and ship it back than it would be for
Yeah.
me to just rent it. Also, I'd have to dig out my VHS player or
I'd
my.
have to figure out where she hoards her
But
VHSs.
luckily, it was on Amazon Prime for rental, and I have a bunch of no rush credits, so I just rented it. I watched it. I really enjoyed it, first of all.
Now I have one of their songs stuck in my head. In one of those movies, they have this song called "Brother for Sale," only 50 cents. Oh my God! Yeah, I'm gonna have to get on YouTube or
Oh my
Amazon,
gosh. But it was
any of it.
I I I really enjoyed it. I literally only watched it because Elizabeth Olsen has a
Yeah.
cameo in it. And I am happy to say, hold on, let me pull it up
Gonna say, was
because
she so freaking cute?
first of all, she was adorable, yes. But I'm going to pull up my letterbox right now and show you that's Elizabeth Olsen. That
Uh-huh.
says 100%. I have seen
Uh-huh.
100% of Elizabeth Olsen's movies. That was the last one that I needed.
Hey,
I'm very proud of
very
this.
nice.
I'm
How
very
old was
proud of
she
it.
in that?
She
Was
when
she
was
baby, toddler?
she was old enough to speak.
Okay.
She had a speaking role, but she didn't have a name. The movie was in 1994, and she was born in 1989. I know this because I was also born in
Yeah,
1989.
it's the best year
It's an
for
excellent
births.
year.
Yeah.
Excellent year. So that would be like four, five,
Okay.
five? 94.
She was a whole kid, not a
Yeah.
toddler or a
She was like a
baby. She
whole
was a
kid.
whole ass kid. Yeah.
Yeah, she was a whole ass kid. She was very cute. She was just so Mary Kate and Ashley, they like ride into the city on a horseback, and they're like trying to find a building, and they're like in the middle of like a New York City road, being like, "Where is it?" And Lizzie's in the backseat of the car with the window rolled down, and she's just like, "It's over there," and it's so cute.
Oh my God. I
I,
love.
it was, and it was actually like it was a really cute movie. It was very predictable,
Oh yeah,
but
of course. You
you
can't
know,
stress children out too much in a
right.
movie.
It was
Like
very
Homeward
predictable.
Bound, the trauma that I still carry to this day from Homeward Bound and The Fox and the Hound, I'll never get back. You can't, you got to be predictable in a kid's movie.
Yeah, it was very, very predictable. But I really enjoyed myself. I sat there watching it, like expecting to just be like kind of bored the whole time, but I was invested. And they were
Oh, yeah.
really cute and adorable.
Did you watch it with your kid?
No, I think she had fallen asleep.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's okay. She probably just would not have paid attention anyways because it's not cartoons.
She can pay attention to Auntie Lizzie, okay?
Yeah. Well, Auntie Lizzie as a 5-year-old. She
True.
actually was she? I might. She might have been awake because now that you've said that, I'm like, I think I pointed out that that was Lizzie to
Yeah.
her. So she might have been awake and watching it with me. I can't really remember. It was been a little while,
Yeah.
but I'm very excited. I can officially say I've watched everything that Elizabeth Olsen has been in.
Love
Very
it.
proud of this.
Love it. Love it.
And I think that's everything. And if it's not, I'm sorry to anything that I've left out.
You're fired.
Whoops.
Do you have a fictional boyfriend, girlfriend, they friend?
Uh, please hold as I turn pages in this book. Knox. Knox from She Who Writes the Storm.
Okay.
I don't know what his last name is because I don't think he has one, or at least they haven't said it in the book. But he is one of our main characters in one of the 4 characters whose POV we follow in She Who Rides the Storm. And he is a member of what is called the Devoted. So there are certain people in this world who are, have the ability to like see other people's auras.
Oh, okay.
So it's like something that they're just born with. And so at like the age of like 11 or something, right around there, the like, I guess the best way to describe it would be like the monarch of the whole like country or whatever they're in.
Hmm.
She's called the warlord. She if they find them, these devoted people, if they find them, which they are easy to find because their auras are like white with little gold specks in them, so
Hmm.
other devoted would be able to find them. So they will take them and train them and all of this, but like they take them away from their family and they don't get to go
Right.
back and whatnot. And so um he's very sweet. He was one of the devoted. He left. He like ran away, which is not something that you do. So they're like chasing him. But he's with one of our other POVs on way, and
Hmm.
their like auras cancel each other out. So when they're together, the devoted can't see his like devoted aura, so they
Hmm.
can't like hunt him down as easily to like bring him back. And so his whole thing is like he wants to he when he left, he took a sword with him that he thinks has like the spirit or of his sister who was murdered. And so he's
Oh.
trying to figure out how to like set her free or whatnot.
Oh.
But he's very sweet, and he's just like he are the main. I think of her as like the main character. Anwe, she is like a thief, and he just kind of like tags along with her and just like helps her, and is very they're just very sweet.
Oh, I
Like
love.
it's very cute, and I think they both like are just starting to realize that they probably have feelings for each other, and I'm hoping that that's where it goes because they're very cute together. And
I
if
love
anything
that.
happens to the sweet boy, I'm gonna be so mad. So yes, Knox from She Who Rides the Storm is my fictional boyfriend this week.
Love. Mine is Dr. Cameron Hayek from Virgin River. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think you watch Virgin River. I don't think you've
Mm-mm.
watched it yet. Um, Basic premise is woman is very, very pregnant, due any day, with her husband. They're driving in a car, they're in an accident. He is killed, and her baby ends up passing from the injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the obvious awful trauma.
Right.
She kind of upends her life. She's like, I can't live in, I think they lived in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
I can't live here anymore. And she moves to like north California, where it's like
Mm-hmm.
Wyoming, where it's like
Right.
everybody's just doing outdoors things, and it's called Virgin River. And
Okay.
it's very similar to like it's not a funny show, it's like a serious show. There are funny moments, but it's the small town feel of like Gilmore Girls, but like a little bit not super dark, but not like light and airy. But the town
Mm-hmm.
has like there's the one restaurant that everybody goes to, so it's like Merlotte's from True Blood or Luke's,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and one doctor and blah blah blah. She ends up working for the doctor, And this season, another person comes in to work in the clinic, and the main character has this love interest that I don't like. I'm in the minority of people who don't like him. Um, and this new doctor is just so sweet. And
Aw.
like he starts to fall for her, and he points out, like, as her friend, some flaws, some very serious flaws that her partner has. And
Hmm.
that, he's basically like, I'm worried about you. And I don't know. I think he's so sweet. And I hope, like,
Aw.
no, I don't know that that'll ever be a thing, but I just would love to see, like, her be with him. So Dr. Cameron, I love Dr.
Aw.
Cameron.
Hearts.
Precious.
Hearts, hearts. I love a good guy who is like, I understand that you're not gonna be with me, but
Yeah.
like
And it's
doesn't try
one
to
of
force
those,
into it.
right, I'll just wait.
Yeah.
It's one of those shows where you are always expecting the worst thing to happen.
Oh.
Like it really is like, oh my God, what
Oh.
awful thing is about to happen next?
Oh
What
gosh.
bad? And so when he comes in, you're like, he's gonna be sinister.
Mm-hmm.
He's here for an ulterior motive. Not so
Aw.
far. And
I
he
love.
could still be, I don't know, but
Yeah. Right. But for now.
for now, he seems like a sweet baby angel. And I know normally I go for the sinister, you're here for an ulterior motive. So I would not be upset if he decided he's here to rob everybody blind.
Yeah, it's fine.
You're you're sweet doing it. I don't care. So
Awesome.
yeah, Dr. Cameron.
I love. Where did your money go?
In mostly paint and this gallery wall behind me. I will have to post on the Instagram. I'll have to remember when the episode comes out. I had someone
Oh.
Photoshop, yes, Photoshop an old like Renaissance portrait, and she Photoshopped my dog's heads onto it to where it looks like they are the portrait.
Yes. I
Because the
love.
vibe I'm going for in my living room right now is like if the Great Hall in Hogwarts and Downton Abbey had a baby. So like I want all the gold gilded frames and like art, but like of Downton, but then like I want it like crammed on the wall like in the Great Hall where like the whole wall is just art.
Yes.
So I have it in like a frame. It's not behind me, it's across from me, but I have it framed and hung up, and it is just the funniest,
It's
best thing I've ever
amazing.
had.
It's
And
amazing.
then I also had years ago, the dogs and I did a craft project where I took canvases. They each got a canvas, one at
Yep.
the time. Everybody else was out in the yard. And we put paint on it, and then I wrapped it in. I put paint on it, and I wrapped it in plastic wrap, and then I put a little peanut butter on it, xylitol
Mm-hmm.
free, so that they're safe. Um, and let them in, and they like licked it so that
Yep.
it would move the paint under. I've had those hanging in my dining room, but the paint doesn't match anything anymore.
Oh.
So I got four gold square frames, and then I got like parchment colored paper, and I did their little paw prints in ink. So I have like four things of each of their little paw prints as a set.
Oh.
It's awful. Like this, it's so weird. It's so weird. This is childless millennial life. It's just making art of your dogs everywhere you can.
No, it's excellent. It's exactly what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. I got a new mirror. I got new curtains and curtain rods. It's I got like stupid things like I'm childless. I'm a childless millennial. I've never had a child, never given birth, but I have children in the house half the time. I bought those toilet paper holders that just flip up to where you just lift the thing up and change the roll to see if that tiny little bit of effort will be small enough that anybody but me will be capable of changing the toilet paper in the bathroom. Fingers, cross your fingers, toes, and butt cheeks for me, everybody, because
Oh my
it's
goodness.
lawless. And I will go in one of their bathrooms, and there will be like four rolls of toilet paper in use at once.
That's
Why?
insane.
It
Why?
drives me
Oh
crazy.
my gosh.
So I bought new toilet paper rolls. So
That would
hopefully all
drive me batshit.
just having to lift it up will be, oh well, this is easy enough that we'll do it.
Oh my gosh.
Um
Fingers crossed. Good lord.
God. I fell victim to another buy one get one half off sale from Amazon. So one of them was the Inheritance of Orquídea Divina, and then I also got the guest list by
Oh, that's
Lucy
been on my
Foley.
list too.
Yeah, the list of on this sale was kind of short,
Mm-hmm.
so I was like,
Yeah.
I've been wanting to read this.
Yeah.
And then I got a bookish box and I didn't bring down all the gifts, but it was like a dagger bookmark, which they do
Mm.
a lot of those, a set of playing cards, there was a t-shirt. But then the book, what this is the box that the post office returned to sender, and it was a whole big
Mm-hmm,
ordeal.
mm-hmm,
The book is Together We Burn by Isabel Ibanez.
mm-hmm.
Um, the kudos on the back are Stephanie Garber of Caraval, Adrienne Young of Namesake, Shelby Marin of
Serpent
Blood
and
and
Dove.
Honey, Serpent and Dove, Blood and Honey, Bridget Kemmerer of Defy the Night. Like a lot of people that we
I've
like.
that's been on my list. I every time I see it, I'm like, oh, I need to.
I don't think I had heard of it.
Oh, really? I've seen it a lot.
Yeah. I haven't seen it at all.
I've
So
seen
I'm
it a lot,
excited.
so I have it on my list.
It did come with one of those like
Oh,
clear-ish, transparent, decorative like page
like an
covers that you're,
overlay thing.
yeah. Um,
Cute.
the book boyfriend looks pretty damn hot. So I'm like, all right.
All right. I can get into that.
Um, then I got my MC Studios sweatshirt in. So it's an ACOTAR, so it's got like the phases of the moon, and then at the bottom it says, I would have torn the world apart to get you back, from
Hmm.
Reese. And then last but not least, so again, COVID kind of took every plan we had. I was supposed to be in Gettysburg right now. Um, but COVID kind of flipped things upside down. Obviously, we
Yep.
couldn't. This is day 9 of our isolation, and like he's taken multiple negative tests at this point. We probably, hindsight, could have gone.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't gonna travel until our 10 days was
Right.
up. I'm not gonna be that guy.
Right.
So we're gonna reschedule. But last Friday, which was 3 days after his symptoms started, I was supposed to go to the Lush Art book fair. So Lush Art is our paint and sip place here. And Kara, the owner, has been talking about doing a book fair, and she was like, I want to give us adults the feeling of getting that flyer and circling all the things you want and
Yes.
taking it. And so like she did, like the week before the book fair, she sent out like a flyer of all the things that were going to be on it, and she was like, print it out, circle on it, you can do it on your iPad, you can whatever. She's like, I want this to be fun. Well, I wasn't able to go,
Yeah.
and I emailed them and I was like, is there any, like, do you have a list of the things you've got? I'd love to shop. And they were like, well, you could, take your ticket and use it for like a painting class. And I'm like, or I could buy a ticket to a painting class. Like, I want the book sale
Yeah.
to do well. I want y'all to do this again where I can actually go. So that sweet woman, I love her so much. She's also a friend of ours. Um, she let me FaceTime her in a break because she did like small groups at a time. So you bought a time slot to go and
Right.
shop. And it came with like a custom, like a hand painted tote bag, and there were refreshments there. Well, between some of the sessions, she FaceTimed me and literally carried her phone to every
Oh.
item they had for sale. I went overboard.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not like, no regrets. I have no regrets. Like, I wanted to support. It's a small business.
Right.
Been here for years. They do a lot in the community. Like, if I'm gonna support anybody, it's gonna be you.
Right.
Um, but I Saturday, so in our timeline, we're recording on Thursday night. Saturday is our first day where we're in the stage now where we can be out with masks on at all
Yeah.
times. So we can't go out and sit in a restaurant and eat because we just want to be
Right.
safe. Saturday is the day where we can go out and sit in a restaurant and eat. We can go out. I'm gonna go down there Saturday and
Mm-hmm.
pick up my tote bag full of goodness. She
Exciting.
had blind date with the books and
Ugh,
sweatshirts and pens and erasers and bookmarks and ornaments and just so much stuff.
I love a good book fair.
Magnets. Yeah, it was, I mean, even FaceTiming with her was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'll get to go to a another book fair if she does one again. But this week a lot of my money went to virtually shopping at a book
Yes.
fair.
Very fun.
Where did
Very
your
fun.
money go?
So I didn't get it this week. Well, I got it sometime between not the last episode, but the previous episode, and now.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't talk about it last week. So, I got Turning Red on DVD. It's
Oh,
the Target exclusive, so it's got like art prints. So I'm really excited about that. I was just thinking. I was
cute.
rearranging my like. I'm calling it my Asian AF shelf, which at the moment is mostly just Mulan. So I was just thinking how I need to get like Turning Red and Raya and the Last Dragon and stuff to put on the shelf. So I already bought Turning Red, so it's gonna go.
Yeah.
I just found it today, so that's going on the shelf.
Cute.
Um, I got the Target edition of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Also comes with art prints.
I was gonna say, what
Um,
are those?
yeah, little art prints. They're on the
Mm-hmm.
inside. I also picked up from Best Buy. I don't have it with me. I put it on my shelf already, so it's like right. Nope, this way. It's on. It's right there somewhere.
I hate trying to do that. You're like,
Yeah, I'm like, where is it? It's like
backwards.
right
That's
there
backwards.
somewhere. But it is the Best Buy edition, which is the Steelbook. So I have the Steelbook, and then I have the Target edition because I'm extra. Um, and then
You?
me, I know, shocking, right? Um, I also somebody on a in a Facebook group was selling like they were destashing a bunch of stuff, and I've been wanting this book for a while, and it's Jade Fire Gold by June CL
Oh,
Tan. It is the
pretty.
Fairlight edition, so look at that.
Oh my
I know.
God, that's really pretty. That's
So, for
beautiful.
our listeners, the edges, it's like a stenciled like dagger on the edge. The top and bottom is just like a hot pink that matches the cover, but this dagger makes me so happy.
Yeah, that's
Um,
beautiful.
so I know nothing about this book. I just know that it is pretty on the front, it's pretty on the
Hmm.
side, and it is written by an AAPI author. So I'm in. I I
Love.
that's all I need to be satisfied is a pretty cover, pretty edges, and an AAPI author. I'm very
Yeah.
easy. But that same person also had a bunch of other stuff that was for sale, and one of them is this book sleeve, but featuring Roma and Juliet from These Violent Delights.
Cute.
I
That's
am
a
so
big book sleeve
it's
too.
huge. Like look at
That's a
this.
good size.
It's a good
Yeah.
size. It's the same. I think it's the same size as the Atlas 6 one that we just got from Fairy Loot.
Is
I
it?
think so. Let me see. Yeah, it's
Let's
the same
see
size.
that.
It's
Oh
the
my
same
God.
size.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's
I
huge.
forget
Like
you're little.
I am a little person, so it just covers my whole face. So it is
Yeah.
gigantic, but it fits a paperback very nicely. I mean, not a paper,
Yeah.
a hardback.
On
Um,
your screen, no lie, it looks like it's like the size of a laptop.
it is the size of my laptop,
Okay, yeah. So it
my
is pretty.
MacBook. It is the
I've
size of my
just made
MacBook.
the
Yeah.
I've made the Atlas 6 one smaller in my head
Yeah, no,
than it
that
was.
one's it's the same size.
It did come folded
Um,
too. Mine came
it
folded.
did. Yeah, it did come folded too. So I've been wanting to get that, but everybody's been posting it for like 20 or something dollars. And I'm like, I can do like five. And she
Not
had it
that
for
bad, yeah.
five. Plus other stuff, so the shipping was combined. And so then I also got this little like travel mug. It's like
Oh,
plastic,
that's really cute.
but it's really cute. And it's themed after the book, the Jade Fired Gold. So there's
Okay.
this little quote. It says, "The heart is not a weakness," and it's got like the dagger and a bunch of cute dragony designs. So
Very
I'm
cute.
sure I will understand it once I read the book. But it's very cute. It's a good it's a good little size, just like hang out on my desk. And then she threw in a little freebie, which is this little wooden bookmark. It's Hamilton.
No.
It says
She
there's
didn't even
a
know you and she did that.
well, she had a list of things you could choose from.
Okay, gotcha.
So
I was gonna say
I
she just threw
picked.
a random freebie,
If she threw a random one in and it was this, I would
and
have
it was
been very.
that one. That's why I
I
was like,
know.
wait a
Yeah, so it's
minute.
Alexander Hamilton. There's a million things I haven't done. And then on the back, it's a stack of books. There's a million books I haven't read. Just you wait.
Just you
I,
wait.
I actually have two of these now, but I need to be able to display both sides on my shelf, obviously. So.
Yeah.
And so that is like my bookish stuff. And I also got pins from Here Comes the Nerd. It's a whole bunch of them. From her Memory Lane collection, which I can't show you because it's a secret.
Oh, I was gonna say,
It's a
Karen, if
secret.
you're showing them to me,
I am not showing them to you. It's a secret.
okay.
But there's 7 pins for
Okay.
7 years in business and one little collectible set. And when I tell you, these are like the cutest things I've ever seen in my life. They're so freaking
Yeah.
cute. I am obsessed. So yeah, I can show you. I will show you the backs of the stickers so you can see shapes. Describe them, Mandy. You're very good at this guessing game.
Blobby. Blobbish. One of those
So,
was a great horned owl. I know that. One of those was a great horned owl.
so I'm very excited for people to get to see these. They're not releasing publicly until August. But she did
Okay.
do like a little early release if you were on the Pop Shop Live event, which of course I was because I needed to buy them immediately. Um, so this here is a full set of the 7 designs plus the one collectible set. And this is some of the designs and the collectible set because my daughter has her own Here Comes the Nerd collection, which I used
Yep.
to bribe her to do things. So
That's smart.
I have a whole bin. It's actually right next to me. I have a bin with pins and like magnets and stickers that basically it's all Here Comes the Nerd stuff. And I bribed my daughter with it. I'm like, if you would like to get a pin, you can go do such and such.
Yeah.
So it works like some of the time. It's not foolproof, but it's something. And that is where my money went, I think.
You're like, let me look around and make
Let me look
sure.
around my bedroom and see if I added anything else. Because that's always a possibility. I spend
I
a lot
know.
of
I'm
money.
looking around my living room like, I know I spent a lot of money
I
this week.
spent so much money, but I have some stuff coming in the mail that I'm really excited about that I will hopefully be able to show you next week. I'm so excited.
My fairy loot shipped, but it's taking forever to get here.
Mine also shipped and it's supposed to arrive this weekend. Mine
I
actually
want to
updated.
check. I was hoping that it would be like today.
Yeah,
It could very well have been today. And
that's
the
true.
post office just
Your people suck. Yeah, I got shipping notification and then like it updated and it was like it'll be here on the weekend. It's like, okay. I'm excited because I should probably avoid like the Facebook groups for a couple days until I get it. Because I was
yeah.
spoiled last time. So, but I'm excited. I have no idea what we're going into.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I'll look later.
I'm excited.
I can't find the email now, but I deleted all the things.
But that, I think that's it. I'm going to go with that's it. Oh, I lied. I just looked up and saw one new thing.
Liar.
I am a liar. Um,
Liar.
I got the San Diego Comic Con exclusive Silk Funko
How
Pop.
did you do that so fast?
I don't know. They shipped pretty quickly. I love this.
Yeah.
So this is so Silk in the comics, she obviously is a Spider-Man, spider person. She got bit by the same radioactive spider as Peter Parker. And so she has similar abilities, but her webs come from her fingers. And so she like shoots her webs from her fingers and is able to create like her costume. So that is what this is. It's like
Ah,
her webs as her costume. She has like a more traditional costume that is like black and red and let me see. That's not a good picture. But here's one. So that's like her. So that's made
okay.
from her webs somehow. I don't
That's
understand it,
cool.
but that's made from her webs. And so yeah, so this is like where it started and where we're at.
Yeah, how it started,
Um,
how it's gonna go.
yeah, so I just opened that today. I got it yesterday, but I was too lazy to open it, so I just opened it today, and it's so cool. I have no idea where it's gonna go yet.
She's very cute, and yes, you
She's
do.
very cute.
That's
She's
okay.
so cute. I'm like obsessed. I love
Yeah.
her so much. I want to see her in live action. I want to be her in live action. But
All right, hold on. I haven't done it in a while. I think I already did one for this,
we
but
you did this
Marvel.
one.
Marvel. You haven't called us yet, okay? If you're nervous to talk to Karen directly, I'll be her agent and you can come to me. It'll be fine. She will be Silk, okay? I'll be
Gwen Stacy.
Princess Loki. No. I will be Loki's wife, Queen of Asgard, and the Frost Giant. All of them. Okay, love you. Bye.
I was just thinking of that. I think I was
I'll
searching.
be Spider-Gwen. I'll take it.
I was
Sorry.
searching like Etsy, and then there was this like print that was Cindy and Gwen. And I was like, it's us. It's
Yeah,
us.
I'll take Spider-Gwen too. That's fine.
I love it.
Spider-Man
Yeah,
is my favorite. Like
it's true.
even more than Loki, like Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. So I would gladly take on the mantle of Spider-Gwen. I am not very what's the word? I've lost the word bendy. I'm not
Flexible.
flexible. I we're gonna have to get a stunt girl on that. But other than that, listen, just give us a call.
We're here. We're ready,
We are
Marvel.
here.
We're
Yeah.
ready. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right.
Um, what?
What?
Oh,
Look at we're on the same page.
okay. Look at
Uh,
us.
what are you anticipating, Mandy?
I'm anticipating talking to Amber D. Lewis next week.
Yes, I'm so
And
excited.
everybody getting to read The Starlight in the Shadow.
I'm so excited. I can't believe it's like already here.
I know.
I feel
Like
like,
reading, and like we talked about this when you got Foul Lady Fortune
oh
and
my
like had
God.
nobody to talk to about it. That's the pain of getting an arc is that you don't have anybody to talk to about it
Yeah.
until, but then at the same time, it goes by so fast.
So fast. Like,
Yeah.
Starlight in the Shadows comes out next month. Foul Lady Fortune comes out the month after. I'm like, where did the time go? I
Yeah.
swear. I
Yeah.
swear.
Um, I also went ahead and added All of Our Demise, which is the sequel to All of Us Villains, because it
Mm-hmm.
comes out this month.
Ooh.
That freaking book hurt. Okay, so just a refresher, it was the book about I think there are six magical families in this area, and every like blood moon, they each have to pick one to go into like the Hunger Games where only one of
Yeah.
you comes out alive, and that family gets the control of magic for 20 years until the next
Yeah.
blood moon. Um, you love most of them by the
Mm-hmm.
end of it. Okay, you love all of us villains. So I am ready for All of Our Demise. I am highly
You're,
anticipating
are you
All
ready
of
to
Our
be heard
Demise.
again?
I am ready to be hurt again.
All right.
What
Well,
are you
I'm
anticipating?
also anticipating. Well, I'm like 3 weeks out from my New York trip, which I didn't realize it was so soon.
That is really soon, yeah.
It's really fucking soon. I realized like today or yesterday that I have my daughter's outfit all squared away for the wedding, and I have no idea what I'm wearing. None whatsoever. So that's gonna be an adventure. I gotta figure that out before I go out. I also have to figure out what I'm gonna wear to the theater to see Into the Woods and meet
Oh,
Pippa Sue. So
yes, you're going to meet her.
I'm going to meet her. I'm going to cry. and it's gonna be fine. I can't believe summer's fucking over.
That's what I was telling Josh earlier. Like, it seems like they just got out of school.
Oh, another thing that I am anticipating is Disneyland getting their heads out of their asses and telling us annual pass holders what they're gonna do with our annual passes.
Have they given a date when they say that they're going to do that?
Well, so I had to call this morning. I called Disney this morning because I went to go make reservations for the end of September when I'm going to Disneyland. And our passes weren't on my list of passes that I could make reservations for. And I'm like, no, no, no. My
Yeah.
pass is not
Hold
expired.
on.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So I called. There was a billing thing. I had an issue with my card, which is a whole other thing. But
Yeah.
so they processed it. Everything's fine. And before I could even ask, she offered up. She's like, "So when it's time for renewal, you can, whenever they figure that out, blah blah blah, all of that." And I was like, "Cool." And so she was like, "Yeah, they're supposed to make an announcement later this summer." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Summer's ending in like 2 weeks, so."
Yeah.
And
It's
she's
like the
like, "Yeah."
student loans announcement.
Right.
In it.
And so she was like, yeah, it's probably going to be sooner rather than later because we know that a lot of passes are coming up for renewal. Because, okay, so last year when they restarted the pass holder program, the Magic Key program, the tickets went on sale August 25th. I know this for a fact because I was in line the entire day to buy my pass. I bought my
Okay.
pass on August 25th. Okay? So, assuming that people who bought their pass on the 25th were able to go the same day, that would be the earliest that renewals should be starting. Like, passes would
Right.
be expiring. So, they need to get their shit together before at least the 25th because
Yeah.
you can't just leave people in limbo. My
No.
pass,
How do
I
you
bought
make plans?
Right. I bought my pass on the 25th, but your pass doesn't activate until your first visit, which mine was the September 27th. So mine doesn't expire till the 27th, which is literally in the
Fine.
middle
Whatever.
of my
Yeah.
trip. It's literally in the middle of my trip.
Yeah.
So I was able, and I was like really annoyed because I couldn't make reservations for the end of September because um, I assumed because my pass was expiring. And so when I looked it up, I was like, no, my pass doesn't expire till the 27th. I come to realize that I was trying to make reservations with mine, my daughter's, and Heather's passes. Heather's expires before ours, which is why I couldn't get late September dates.
Oh,
So I
gotcha.
was like, sorry, I'm just going to make my reservations. You can figure yours out when the time
Yeah.
comes. So I was able to make my reservations because we have tickets to Oogie Boogie Bash for September 29th, which I'm excited about. It's my first time going to Oogie Boogie Bash, so I'm really excited. In addition to that, Tiffany and Mary are going to be in town,
That
so
is so cool.
we're going to go with them. Joanna is also coming to Oogie Boogie. So it's a big group. It's me, my daughter, Heather, Joanna, her boyfriend, Tiffany, Mary, and then her two daughters.
Yeah.
So it's a
That's gonna
big
be
group,
so fun. And
and
the
it's gonna
little
be really
girls are
fun.
gonna be excited.
The girls are gonna be so excited. I think the
Yeah.
girls are gonna be the best of friends. Like the two big
Yeah.
girls. The
Yeah.
littlest one
The
is a baby.
babies. Yeah.
The baby will just be the baby, but I
Yeah.
think the girls will have so much fun. But yeah, I'm really excited. So we're going on September 29th is our tickets for Oogie Boogie Bash. So they are coming in out of town. So they have 4 day tickets. So they're 26, 27, 28, and 29. So 29 is Oogie Boogie Bash. So I technically don't need a reservation because we can just go in with our tickets.
Mhm.
So I don't have a reservation for the 28th because my pass expires on the 27th. So I have reservations for the 27th and the 26th. So I'm just missing technically 1 day with them. But hopefully Disneyland will
That's
get
when
there.
you and your kid go do Hogwarts
I know.
while you're in town.
And I was talking to Joanna earlier today. She's like, I can't make reservations for September. And I was like, it's okay. If we can't do Disneyland, we'll do Universal. We have passes
Yeah.
there too.
It's
Um,
whatever.
yeah, when we took Joanna to Universal for her first time, she upgraded to a season pass. So I
Yeah.
was like, we could totally just do that instead. Like, it's not a big deal. We will hang out. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
It'll be
It's
fine.
happening. It'll be fine.
That is
Um,
so exciting.
but I'm feeling so much better about my September trip because I was like, am I just gonna go down south
Yeah.
and like not go to Disneyland?
Not go to
Like
Disney.
be in the area for a whole week and go to Disneyland
Right.
one time. Like that seems wrong. So I feel a little bit better. I'll feel better once they actually give us an announcement. Um,
Right.
so I'm
Just say
anticipating that.
something.
I'm anticipating that. I just need to know. And I was really like a little bit confused because she's like, just, it'll be announced on the website. I'm like, okay, are they gonna email us?
Yeah, are
Because
they going to
who's
tell us
checking
at
the
all?
website every
Right.
15 seconds? So I'm hoping that they're also gonna send an email out to pass holders, but Disney Zone's already fucked up, this past year. So we'll see what
Well, that's
happens.
Bob Chapek. I hate him.
You mean Bob Cheapass?
Or Bob Paycheck. Uh,
I hate him so much.
his
Like,
stupid bald
I
head.
pay I pay more I paid more for this year's annual pass than I had previously, and I have less benefits.
Yeah.
It makes me so angry. And I was talking to a
And like,
friend earlier, and she was like, I'm just glad to have one. And I'm like, yeah, but
I'm still going to pay it and they know it. That's the
yeah,
thing. And like, I can defend to a degree because, people say, well, Walt Disney didn't want it to be over $25 to get in. Okay, but if a ticket into Disney World was $25, you would never get in. They would
yeah,
hit capacity in 5 seconds and
right.
you would never be able to plan to go.
Yep,
So they have to price it to where people have to plan ahead,
yep,
you know? But my God, guys, my God,
yeah.
make some decisions, be clear about things.
I
I,
just,
there's, they started doing Genie Plus here, and a
we
lot
have
of
it
people
here
are
now
up in
too.
arms around it. I like it. I used it when we came to Disneyland when they didn't have it in the world. So I don't mind it. I don't mind paying extra for fast passes if it's gonna work. Apparently it don't work half the time here.
Well, my problem is that well, first of all, with my pass, I can't just add on Genie Plus for like a flat rate. Like it's literally
Right.
you pay per day, which is insane. When
Yeah.
my previously I paid a flat rate for the year. It was part of my annual plan package. And so I paid and I just got a fast pass whenever I went, which
Yeah.
is really convenient. In addition to the fact that I could just get a fast pass. I didn't have to like plan ahead. I didn't, like I was just like, okay, what do I want to ride? Okay, I'll sign up for that and it's fine. And I wasn't
Yeah.
limited by how much I could hold. And I didn't
Right.
have to pay extra for like high volume rides, which is
Yeah.
another thing in and of itself. In addition to that, I'm paying more money, so I'm paying more money than I was for my annual pass plus my fast pass plan. I don't have any sort of fast pass or anything like that. I don't have my photo pass anymore because that was part of my plan previously. And I mean, I get an extra 2 weeks. I get an extra 2 weeks of like possible visiting time, but it's the 2 weeks during the holidays. I'm not
Yeah.
going during the holidays.
I love Disney. Okay, I love it. You could not pay me to go to Disney the week of Christmas or the
Not at
week
all.
of Thanksgiving. No, or New Year's.
The week of
God, no.
Thanksgiving's not that bad actually. At least for us. At least when I
Yeah.
went.
Here
We
it's
we
not
always
great.
go the week of Thanksgiving because it's my birthday, so we go
Yeah.
the week of Thanksgiving. I've never had issues, and so I have no complaints about the week of Thanksgiving. But
Yeah.
you could not pay me to go the week of Christmas or New Year's,
Mm-mm.
and that's the 2 weeks that they added,
Yeah, that's stupid.
they think that makes up for the fact that they took
Yeah.
away my fast pass
Here's the
and my photo pass.
concession.
No, I would
You can come on
gladly give
Christmas.
I would gladly give those 2 weeks up to have my photo pass and my fast pass
Yeah.
back.
And
Absolutely
honestly,
100%.
you would think that the photo pass would cost them less. So they would get more out of, you having
It's
fast pass,
insane.
I mean, a photo pass than you having an extra week or
Yeah.
2 weeks.
I'm not coming those extra 2 weeks, so you're not making money off of me on those
Right.
2 weeks. You
Right.
know? Like, it's ridiculous. So, please, Disney, just get your heads out of your asses so I can plan my first of all my
Vacation.
September my vacation in September and also my birthday because at this point in time I can't not plan my birthday because
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford to go because I don't know if I'm going to have a pass.
Right.
I will not be going to Disneyland if I have to pay per day.
Right.
It's not happening. So, get it together.
Yeah.
Ay ay ay.
Are
Anyways,
you anticipating anything else?
um, I oh well, okay, so there's this author that I found on Instagram, like just randomly showed up on my Instagram feed. Her name is Erin Thompson. She has one book that is published already. It's called The Wedding Planner. She has a second book called Five Dates Between Friends that comes out later this year. And a Instagram message just popped up for her. She's like, because I had commented on one of her stories where she was like, the ARC emails are gonna go out tomorrow, and I commented on that story. I'm like, I got really confused because time zones are confused. She's in Australia, and I was like,
Yeah.
tomorrow for me is now, but that's not necessarily tomorrow for you. So I'm really confused. And so as we were recording, replied to my message, and she was like, "I'm literally about to hit send," and I'm like, so
Oh,
I'm like waiting
yay!
for that arc to come in. So I'm anticipating reading that.
Yeah,
It's gonna
anticipating
be a lot of fun because I will then be in the middle of many books.
that. Yeah. God.
I have so many books that I'm reading. It's ridiculous. I'll get it together one day, I promise. But I think that's it.
So I just have like a quick fangirl freestyle. And actually I checked, let me get my date right.
Okay.
Um, so I know that you are like me and that you grew up with I Love Lucy, right? And we love Lucy. But I
Yes.
don't know if you were like me in that I also grew up with Bewitched and Leave It to Beaver and all of the shows
No,
from the days.
mine was I Love Lucy and I Dream of Jeannie.
I
That
loved I
was
Dream of Jeannie, like
those
all of
those are
them.
mine. Those are my two.
So, yesterday, day before yesterday, someone shared an article or news that Tony Dow, who played Wally in Leave It to Beaver, had passed away. But he hadn't passed away. It was just like he was in hospice and he actually did pass away yesterday. Um, which is awful and you know, I hate that. But where did these this celebrity is dead stories come from? And it made me think about the when Paul Walker died in that car accident. Of course, in this day and age, you hear that a celebrity's dead and you Google it for yourself because you're
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, I remember and I have screenshots of it. The day that Paul Walker died, I Googled Paul Walker death and it's the day that he died. And Google says this news article was posted 2 days ago and it's news of his death.
What the hell?
Karin. Like I get that there are sometimes conspiracy theories where like they'll just say a random celebrity is dead and then they're on Twitter like, nope, still
Mm-hmm.
kicking. But like, and I guess we had to have assumed that hospice was called in and he was a teenager in the 50s
Right.
when Leave It to Beaver was on. So like it's not shocking that if hospice is called in, he's probably not got a whole lot of time.
Right.
But the whole they're dead, no, they're not, yes, they are, freaks me out.
I don't like that.
It
I don't like
freaks
that.
me out. Yeah,
Well, I have two thoughts on this. One, my first thought is that why are you putting that energy into the world? That
exactly.
that is
How do
the
you
worst.
sit and
How
think, like, who I haven't thought of lately? This actor. I'm going to say that they're dead.
yeah. That why?
Like, I
That's my
get the
first thought.
joke of, hey, is this person still alive?
Right.
But it's not the same as let me
Publishing an
maliciously say
article
that they're
that
dead.
says, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my first thought. My second thought is way more conspiracy theory. Um,
Does the Matrix know
no.
that they're dead?
Are are there murders happening?
I mean,
Are there murders
maybe.
happening? like
Like,
I
because
don't.
like I said that they said that Paul Walker died of a car accident in a car accident an accident, not that I'm saying this happened, this is just a
Right, right,
conspiracy theory based off of this line of thought.
right.
Car accidents are easy to make look like accidents. If
Hmm.
someone were to say, like,
Yeah. Hmm.
it's weird, right?
Yeah.
I'll find
Somebody
that
would
screenshot.
somebody would have to have a really sick sense of like,
Yeah.
especially like specifically for Paul Walker to have died in a car
Yeah.
accident. Like
He was so young.
if that was somebody's like doing, like that's really sick considering that he was like in the Fast and the Furious kind of thing, and that's what people like
Yeah.
thought of when that happened. So it's just like, I mean, obviously murder is disgusting in and of itself.
Yeah. Yeah. But
So like anybody who, if that was a thing, like that would be gross, but it's extra gross to go to that like extra
yeah.
level. I don't know. It's
But then
I'm feeling very conspiracy theory right now.
when I shared it, like because like I see it in my Facebook every year in my memories,
Hmm.
and every time I see it, I'm like, woof, because
Yeah.
I, my, like, what I said on Facebook was pretty sure it's a hoax, you guys, unless he died 2 days ago. And then it's
Yeah.
got like where the article said, like where Google says 2 days ago, but he was really dead.
Oh
Like,
my god.
oh,
Oh my god.
anyways, that it's just seeing
Well,
that Tony Dow passed is what brought this up, because it was like, oh
yeah.
no, an internet rumor got started. He didn't actually pass. And I
But
guess,
could it, well, I guess it depends on what's said in the articles, because if the articles give a specific date, but could it have been that he did pass before we knew, kind of thing? You know what I mean?
yeah. And I think with Tony Dow, like he's not a like if I grab my husband or if I call my sister
Right.
might know. Nobody's gonna know who, not a lot
Right,
of
right,
people are
right.
gonna know who he is. It's not like if you, I'm not even gonna, I don't want to even say our celebrity. I'm too superstitious for that.
Right, right, right.
Um, but it's not a well-known name. So
Right.
maybe the family or a representative of the family was maybe alluded to someone of the press. Hey,
Right.
it's, he's just
It's
like you
getting
do with family,
close. Yeah, yeah,
we're
yeah.
getting close. They're not
Yeah.
going to be with us much longer. And maybe somebody misunderstood and ran with it.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the Paul Walker was, telling you, it weirds me out.
And that is really like literally that's the only thing I can think of is like maybe it happened like earlier than we were told about it, because
But
that was like
days, and it was a
I
major accident in the middle of the town.
yeah, I don't know.
It was in the middle of Los Angeles.
The you know what I think of when I think of celebrity deaths is Kobe Bryant, because that was announced before his family even knew.
Yeah, I was at Disney
I
World
was I
and
was
remember like reading it.
I remember finding out about it, but then when I found out that his family wasn't
Yeah,
notified before it was the
sickening.
news broke, well, that was disgusting.
They ought to be ashamed of themselves.
I can't. I The ESPYS were on recently, and as we know, I love award shows. So I watched the ESPYS. Well, first of all, it was hosted by Stephen Curry, who is the star of my basketball team. So of course I had to watch it. But one of the winners was Klay Thompson, who is also on the Warriors, and he just came back from like ridiculous injuries. He was like out for two seasons, and so
Yeah,
he won like comeback player. And in his speech, he spoke directly to Vanessa Bryant. Like in his speech, he's like, "We think about them every day, and we thank him for and all of this." And it was very sweet. And it was very emotional, and it was just like he meant a whole lot to a whole lot of
yeah,
people. um and it just sickens me that that was how his family had to find
yeah.
out, was through the
Can you
media.
imagine opening like
Anything.
Facebook and
Right.
finding like,
Right.
yeah,
Like, could you imagine just you just open Twitter, and then in your mentions it's just like, because there are people who were tagging her and shit like that on Twitter, and they'd be like, "Oh my god, is this for real?" Blah blah, and she'd be like, "What the fuck?
what do you mean? Is this?
What do you mean? What are you
And then the
talking about?"
phone starts ringing.
Right. And
Sickening.
and it's not just her husband, it's her daughter too.
Yeah.
So it's like that, it's even doubly worse. It's just I
Like it's
can't.
awful to lose. Like, I don't
Right.
ever want to go through like losing a spouse, but no one on this earth should bury their child.
Well, there's a reason. There's a reason there is not a word for someone who has lost their
Yeah.
child.
It's just it's
It's
unfathomable. How do you go
it's
on? How do you
I
how do you go
wouldn't.
on?
I would
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I would be a puddle on the I would just not.
Yeah.
I would just not.
Like how do you continue to be?
Mm-mm.
You,
Yeah, so I can't even like poor thing. I feel
yeah.
it makes me so sick to think about that was how she had to find out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Celebrity deaths, they are apparently creepy and also disgusting, depending
Yeah.
on what's happening in the media.
I'll post my screenshot and the picture, the portrait of my Renaissance doggos.
We need to start taking notes about things we're supposed to
I
post because
know.
we keep saying we're going to post it, and then because of the way we record episodes, we forget when the episode
Yeah,
actually comes out. We
I
need to
know.
start
I
taking
need to.
notes.
I've been listening to the episodes like when they come out on Fridays,
Mm-hmm.
but like I need to I need to stop in the moment and
Yeah.
say, all right, here's what I said I would post.
Yeah, I need to do that too
Yeah.
because we keep saying that and we don't.
I
All
think it's
right.
about time for a spiel.
We went off on many tangents. Who knows how much of that
It
is
was
actually going into the episode?
incoherent, is what
Yeah,
that was.
it was. It was. We'll see how much time we have left on our plan and how much I can keep in.
Oh, it's like an hour and a half.
No, it's like 2 hours.
Okay. I was looking at Buzzsprouts because I was listening to the In By You We Trust earlier and it
Yeah.
said like,
No, I looked like as we were recording. It's like an hour and 58 minutes or something like
okay,
that.
good,
And it
good.
resets on like the 11th, which is when I would be posting the next one. So like,
That's right. Because I was like, I'm worried about the episode with Amber, but we'll record, not
yes.
post.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Do
So,
you want to talk about our internet besties?
I do.
Do
Are
we
we doing
like them
that
enough to talk
first?
about them? No.
I mean, we could.
I
We could.
skipped our spiel.
I mean, we could talk about them before us. I don't
Look, I've
know.
just got hamburger helper on the brain now, apparently. I gotta go cook some helper of the hamburger.
All right. Well, I will speed through the spiel.
I'm just teasing.
Well, anyways, if you enjoyed the episode, please like, follow, and subscribe. That's what I meant to say last week. I almost said comment. Like, follow, and subscribe wherever you are listening to us, and leave us a review because we love to hear our reviews.
Especially if you like us. Like,
Yeah, we
those
really would
hit different.
appreciate if you actually like us. That would be great.
Mhm.
Um, you can follow us on social media. We are on Instagram and TikTok at The Incoherent Fangirl or Twitter as at Incoherent Girls because Twitter has a character limit. We
F
hate it.
you, Twitter. You're the dumpster
Twitter's
fire of the
the
internet.
worst. The worst. Please like our Facebook page and visit our website, theincoherentfangirl.com, where you can also stream all of our episodes and read our blog, which we have gotten much better at updating. I'm so
Yay!
proud of us.
I know.
It's very exciting. We have longer reviews on there about books mostly. I think there's one movie on there so far, but we'll get into it some more.
Yeah,
It's fun. It's like a little
it
piece of
is.
it makes me anxious every time I post something because I'm just like, oh,
No.
somebody's gonna read my writing. Okay, cool. Like, but you can read that because that's what it's there for.
Yeah.
You can also stream all of our episodes on YouTube. They are audio only because eventually we will be using YouTube for Patreon perks such as full video episodes.
Yeah.
Send us an email at theincoherentfangirl@gmail.com to let us know what kind of things you want from Patreon, as well as send us comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, and
Freestyle
maybe
ideas.
freestyle ideas. Maybe just tell us we're cool and pretty and you like
Yeah.
us. We like
Yeah.
that too.
You like that.
We do like that. And I believe that is the end of us, and it's time to talk about our internet
Well,
besties.
you know what I just thought about? Sometimes we say this and sometimes we don't, but I'm going to say it. She is at Ms. Made in China on all the things.
And she is at Mandy Perv on all the things. We have said that. I think we've only done that once, but we should start doing that.
Yeah.
Because you can also follow us. We're pretty funny. We're funny together, but we're also funny individually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now on
We're
to our besties.
Now we can get on to our besties after we've talked about ourselves so much.
Like we're awesome and they want to be our besties too. So obviously they like us for a reason.
They are pretty cool. You can start by going to herecomesthenerd.com and use code FANGIRL to get 20% off your first order.
Or you can go to Once Upon a Book Club and use code Mandy10 to get 10% off. Not or, and you can use this code. Go to all the besties.
Go to all the besties. Follow that up by going over to noveltychest.com. That's novel like a book, tea like the drink, chest.com. Use code FANGIRL5 and you'll get 5% off your monthly subscription.
And since there's never enough tea in the world, go to grimoiretea.com and use code FANGIRLT. So FANGRLTEA. There's no I in T. Fangirl tea. I was trying to make a no I in team pun because Sam would love a pun being
Yes, she
there,
is
but
very punny. We'll work on it. We'll work on it, Sam.
Fangirl tea without the I for 10% off your order.
Yay! We love our besties, and you should go
Yes,
visit them and love them too because they're awesome.
they're the bestest. They're
They're the
besties
bestest.
for a reason.
They're the bestest besties.
Oh,
And that was
that
the
was the
Incoherent Girl.
girl.
Thanks for joining
Love
us.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
We are sponsored by our friends at Here Comes the Nerd. Pins, stickers, magnets, and more. Here Comes the Nerd has happy art for all fandom-loving hearts. New customers can use coupon code FANGIRL during checkout for 20% off their first order at herecomesthenerd.com. Coupon applies to ready-to-ship items only.